Hello from Tennessee. I am wearing the Bling Master yet again. I'm going to try something different, which seems to be my theme as of late, but I'm going to do a week in the life of an enthusiast. That enthusiast being this guy. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I'm going to go through the list of things that kind of occupied my time this week within the watch space. First off, I uploaded 6 videos so far to my YouTube channel. I've got one that I just finished that I need to edit, and then obviously this one. And then I plan on another one either Sunday or Monday. So you can kind of do the math there, but that's around, I think, 9 videos within that in a little over a week. Quickly, one video I dropped earlier in the week was about the definition of value. I got some awesome responses. I'm going to do another video hooking back up to that and some of the comments and my thoughts on that. But if you haven't, please go back in my uploads and please comment on that. Like I said, read some of the comments. I'm getting some great feedback on that. And I definitely would love some more feedback, and then I'm going to kind of move forward, summarize some of the feedback, and then give my thoughts on the subject too as well. Okay, so what else besides uploading YouTube videos that I'm creating? A lot of my week in general, in terms of watch things I like to do, I love plugging into live streams. So generally my format or the ones I like to watch, obviously, or maybe not so obviously, but on Monday I generally will tune in to Random Rob's live stream, which usually takes place between 8 and 8:30, runs about an hour or so on Monday night. I also like to tune in to Dane, Saleen Driver's live stream. He posts them periodically. He usually does a standing one on Wednesdays around 12 noon. I've been lucky enough to be able to meet that one. Amin Reviews does a great live stream Thursday nights. I learn a lot by watching that and realize how much I don't really know. But he brings together a pretty good, diverse group of enthusiasts, some crazy knowledge levels, and it's really great to watch. One of those participants in that format is my buddy Bobby Legs, and he also has a great live stream that he generally does or has been doing. He does them periodically. The one that I've really been getting into lately is Fridays. I think he's doing it twice a month or so, but is doing live streams that go over the state of the collection of an enthusiast. So I got to the live streams. So what else? What else has kind of hit my interest? Well, I don't think you can not think about Rolex and what happened this week with Rolex, right? I kind of made fun of it in one of my videos, but at the same token, I do have some interest in it. I'm not in the market for a Rolex right now. Truth be known, I would love a Rolex at some point in time. I love the Explorer. I think that's just a wonderful watch. I know a couple of people that have them, and that's something that is definitely on my wish list. But what do I think about what happened this week with Rolex and the new releases? There was a couple things that I thought were kind of interesting. I believe it was probably mentioned in Amin's live stream, but somebody talked about that they're kind of looking like they're taking a micro brand approach a little bit, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, especially when you see all those color dials on the Oyster Perpetual that are out. The second thing I thought about too as well that kind of resonated with me is Pete at Not So Obvious Watches really talked about Rolex moving towards, even though these are not advertised as watches for women, was making a really strong point that a lot of their marketing and dollars are going towards that group too as well, which I think advancing the hobby with more better size watches, especially for people with smaller wrists or women, is a great thing for the hobby in general. So that's kind of my short take on Rolex. I find it interesting as an enthusiast. I think there's a little bit too much hyper fanfare personally, but to each their own. I think it kind of builds some excitement in the watch community, and is definitely an interesting thing to talk about. So what else? Some videos that kind of caught my attention this week. I think there's a couple. Pardon me while I look down. Dane did a great video. He did 2 great videos this week. Just one reviewing the Tron G-Shock. It was his first square. I think he's catching the bug a little bit. I just, in the circles I run with, I think he was one of the last holdouts for the square. So I found that kind of a fun thing. And then also Dane did a really good video on what watches mean to me, and it was good. It was really good just to hear about an experienced enthusiast collector and what this hobby means to them. I do plan on one of those at some point in time. I'm kind of processing through that now, but his points are spot on. So if you haven't get to catch that, please watch that. Everybody I'm talking about, I'm going to try the best I can to link things down below, but you all can find those if you just look too as well. So, but I will try to link some stuff. The other thing, one other great vid I watched this week was Bobby Legs interviewing Homer in the State of Collection. I mentioned about Bobby's live stream. Great video there. If you're listening to this and you have not subscribed to Bobby's channel, please subscribe. He's at 931 subs at the time I do this. He's trying to get towards that 1,000. And even if you have subscribed, maybe you know somebody else that you get them to subscribe. Let's push them over that 1,000. I'd love to see that happen over this Labor Day weekend. The other video I watched that was pretty cool. I mentioned Pete at Not So Obvious Watches. He did a little take on Rolex. That was a great vid too as well. He gives a really good perspective on news stuff. That used to be his bread and butter, so to speak. So he's well versed at doing that. His channel fluctuates a little bit, which I really like the direction he's going. But it was good to see him get back to his roots a little bit and give his take on that. He's got some really good knowledge on the market and so forth too as well. Next, Pete at Chillin Wit Watches had started to do some videos on modding. That's something that's always been interesting to me. I find it extremely intimidating, and especially when you see everything that he puts into it in terms of tools and stuff. I still find it fascinating. I think it's something I will do eventually, but those are great vids. If you want to watch him, he showed cutting down a crown stem and putting that in, made it look real easy. But like I said, for you all that are doing modding, I would definitely recommend checking him out. And then lastly, and I will leave on this note, my buddy Dirk today did a great video on mental health. So to end on a slightly serious note here, he did an awesome video. He talked about September being National Suicide Prevention Month. I recommend watching that video and reach out to somebody in need if you know anybody, or a kind word here and there can go a long way. You never know what somebody's going through, and I think as watch enthusiasts and collectors, we are extremely blessed and we are extremely fortunate. Doesn't mean that we don't have our issues or our problems, but at the same token, I think that is something, especially in this this COVID world right now. A lot of communication is done through this method here, but reach out to somebody, ask how they're doing. If you don't hear from them a little bit, check in on folks. You never know what kind of difference you can make in somebody's life just by genuinely caring. So that's it, guys. As always, stay positive, make friends, enjoy the journey. I'll try to link most of those down below. Hope everybody has a great Labor Day weekend. Talk to y'all soon.